welcome back to episode 5 of Becoming the Perimenopause Journey 6-week mini-series. I forgot what we were calling it there. So I'm really excited. This is week 5, okay? So this week we are talking about embracing vitality. We are really digging into how to, embrace the well-being as we age and move through perimenopause and this journey together. But I really am excited about this. But before we dig into today's discussion, I want to take a moment here to thank you guys for the stories that you share, for the feedback that you give me, the insights. Your continued insights really do help me build these conversations. And like I said at the beginning of this mini series, this was all put together because you guys had questions. You were reaching out and asking different things, and I really wanted to build a mini series that came forward and hopefully answered a lot of the questions that you guys brought to me. So again, I am so grateful for the feedback and the insights. Continue, please, to share in our Facebook community. Reach out, ask questions, find me on the social media. I am more than happy to continue to answer as many questions for you as I can. So many of you have really shared inspiring stories about, how you're embracing vitality and well-being during perimenopause. One person reached out on socials and talked about incorporating their daily walks and yoga into her routine, finding strength and calmness in these practices. Another person reached out in the group and shared how she's focusing on nutritious meals, staying active, using those ways to maintain energy and health as she moves into perimenopause. So these stories remind us that vitality and well-being are essential. These are things that we really need to make sure that we are incorporating as we age, and they're achievable, through intentional choices and self-care. So I really thank you again for sharing your stories and for being here and participating with us along this journey. So let's dig in to today's episode, right? As we age and go through perimenopause, our bodies undergo changes. I've shared with you guys many of the changes that I've gone through, and that can really impact our sense of vitality, our overall well-being. And it's essential to understand that these changes that are happening, like, what are they? How is our body changing, so that we can, proactively step up and care for ourselves. So to me, vitality encompasses physical energy, mental clarity, emotional resilience. It's about feeling alive, about being vibrant, and really engaging in your life, right? You're here, you might as well enjoy it. And well-being, on the other hand, I feel encompasses, our overall state of physical health. So like our physical body, our mental body, our emotional body, those kind of things. And during perimenopause, these hormone fluctuations can really affect our energy. It can affect our sleep, the mood stability, right? Hello. And these changes can influence our sense of vitality, our sense of well-being. So we really want to make it an important part of our day to prioritize our self-care and to really incorporate those healthy habits that we know are nurturing and caring for ourselves. So let's explore some of the strategies for embracing this vitality during perimenopause, right? Let's really look at, again, how can we embrace the vitality? How can we move into this phase and through this phase feeling the best that we possibly can? The number one thing, and I harp on it a lot, but the number one thing is physical activity. Incorporating regular exercise into your routine. I talk a lot about walking. Walking is such an amazing way to build your strength, your stamina, to, help with mental clarity. Such a great exercise, and it's a great place to start. If you're someone that doesn't have, already an established routine, walking is a great place to start. Also, things like yoga or strength training, all really wonderful ways to show your body some physical activity and give yourself some care. Because physical activity, it not only boosts our energy levels, but it really has been shown to enhance our mood and overall health support. So, why not do something for a little mood boost when you're feeling like a trash bag, right? And then number two, I harp on these all the time, but nutrition, right? Focusing on that balanced diet, really incorporating fruits and vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, lean dense proteins, considering which foods feel good to support your body with. Everybody's body's a little bit different. So making sure that you're really listening to your body and giving your body the good, nutritionally dense and rich foods that you need can support that hormonal balance. It's going to help with the bone health, making sure that you're getting those calcium rich foods, omega-3 fatty acids, all these really important, really vital food and nutrition sources to help you move through this period with ease and grace. And then, guys, sleep. Like, I know I talk about sleep a lot too. These are like the things, right? We talk about them a lot, but it's so important because when we prioritize quality sleep, we establish, that relaxing bed routine. We limit screen time before bed. When we get into being able to create a comfortable sleep environment, we allow our bodies the opportunity to rest and recover. And I know sleep is one of those things that is elusive for many of us, right? At this phase, sometimes it comes, sometimes it goes, and you just never know where you're going to have sleep or when you're not, right? But the thing is, and what I've been learning through just researching and even my own personal practice is if you can establish for yourself a really good sleep routine, even if you have, poor quality of sleep that night, you are going to still feel more rested than the nights where, you don't follow your sleep routine. So I really highly encourage you to figure out your best sleep routine. For myself, I know that I need to be in the bed between the sheets resting by no later than 10 p.m. As soon as it's after 10 p.m., I get a really crappy sleep. So I like to make sure that, my phone is off by 9. I take my magnesium around 9, 9:30 at the very latest, and I allow myself to unwind. I put on a sleep meditation, and that really helps me. Some nights, yes, I still get up a couple times during the night if I'm having a restless sleep, but I've really noticed that using my sleep routine, when I'm consistent with using my sleep routine, my sleep is better. Whether or not I've woken up in the night, it doesn't matter. My sleep feels better, right? Stress management. Ding, ding, ding. We're going to hammer this one again, right? Stress management. Practice stress reducing techniques like the mindfulness meditations that I have posted on the YouTube. They take like 2 minutes, but they're going to focus you back into your body. They're going to focus you back into your deep breathing, all that good stuff, allowing you to move through the stress as opposed to holding on to it and letting it create a clusterfuck of emotions in your body. Trust me, I know. So, stress management, doing the meditations, the deep breathing exercises, getting out in nature, taking that walk, right? Managing stress effectively can really improve your overall vitality, your well being, your feeling of physicality. It really, stress is such a huge part of this phase and why we are hammered, and some not hammered, like we didn't all drink too much wine. I mean, like hammered down, like there's too much happening. We feel too overwhelmed. There's always going to be stress. There always will. There's always going to be things that come at you that are difficult, that are overbearing. But when you have the tools in place that allow you to move through the stress or to process the stress, that really helps you to feel it, to acknowledge it, to be present with it, and then figure out how you're going to release it, right? A good example, the other day I was so overwhelmed. Like all the things I have, all these things, all these stresses, all the pressures. Is this going to happen? Is that going to happen? Where's this coming from? How's that going to work? All of the things. And instead of sitting in my mind, right? Because I used to be a huge overthinker. I could sit and overthink for hours about the same topic. Not proud of that, but that's the truth. I was able to talk it through. I was able to process it and walk through each part of it and be like, okay, what's happening? How is this happening? How do I feel? What is the emotion attached to this? And you know what I found? A lot of the stress and the overwhelm was actually attached to fear. That's a whole other episode. But that's what I wanted to share. I want to share with you that when you can sit with the stress and try to understand why the stress is there, or maybe you don't even need to understand it. Maybe you just need to sit with it and be acknowledging it and then letting it go, right? But stress management, huge thing. Mindfulness practice, huge in this phase of life. It's okay. We're all overwhelmed. How do we how do we sit with it and allow it, right? Okay, social connections is another one. Nurture those relationships, those friendships, the people that really care and that are there and understanding of what you're going through. I love, I have some friends that I really appreciate so much because they're the type of friend that needs nothing from me, right? And I really need nothing from them. But when we are both like, when you're in that situation where like, I need to talk this through, that friend is always there. So nurturing those relationships and really digging into that and being open to allowing other people to uplift you, to support you. This is a huge part. A social connection can greatly contribute to your emotional well-being. It can boost your vitality, make you really feel like a whole different person when you've had the opportunity to get out of your own head. Maybe you do your mindfulness practice, you process what you're going through, and then you can talk it through with a good friend. That is a huge, huge contributor to finding well being, right? So, in addition to vitality, cultivating overall well-being, there's this holistic approach to our mind and our body and our spirit that I really advocate for. Our mental health is huge, especially during this time. Our hormones are all over the place. Sometimes the hormone rage is a thing, and we've talked about that before. Those raging moments, they are a thing. But when we can take a step back and really prioritize our mental health by, maybe seeking support that we need from a therapist or a counselor or that fellow bestie that is going through this at the same time as you, and just really practicing self-compassion and mindfulness in a way to enhance our emotional resilience, right? And that's a huge part of the holistic approach to finding wellness here. And yes, our physical health is a huge thing. We need to really make sure that we are caring for our bodies, doing staying on top of our preventative care measures, making sure that we are addressing those health concerns as they come up, right? You're not you're not less than if you need to go to your healthcare practitioner and get some supplements or some assistance or some help. That does not make you less than. And I know even for myself, I try to push through and just be like, oh, I got this, I understand. But it wasn't until I went to my healthcare practitioner and I had her, do the analysis of what was happening, that I was able to really step forward into better physical health, because I didn't know what was fully wrong or fully what I was fully facing until I got those checkups, right? So there's nothing wrong with reaching out and asking for those things. And if you're having a hard time getting, your healthcare practitioners or professionals to understand or listen to you, one of you reached out to me and said that you really felt like you needed a hormone panel done, but your doctor wouldn't do it. Stand up for yourself and demand your health care. It's really important, ladies. Often we get gaslit and we get pushed aside and told that we're crazy. Even I've had female doctors and practitioners that have done that. So it's a thing, and you're not alone in that. Stand up and demand. If you feel like something is off, then it probably is. So ask for those and don't take no for an answer. Emotional balance. Speaking of emotional balance, right? Engaging in activities that bring joy and fulfillment. You know, this phase I'm finding, so I have more time on my hands because my kids need me less. They're moving out, they're doing their thing. It's really allowing me to step into this. I love what I do. I love my group coaching. I absolutely love creating the program. I love writing these podcasts. I love writing in general. I am really finding that I am able to really step into my creative pursuits, these things that I want to do, stepping into volunteering as well. And I'm finding that that is so good because it's filling my emotional capacity and making me feel good, right? And then our spiritual connections. This is big, right? We really are spirit beings, and it's really important that you explore practices that nurture your spiritual well being, whether it's meditation or prayer or connecting into nature or, sitting and reading a Bible or sitting and reading a devotional. It really is an important thing to sit and connect to your spirit because we are spirit beings. We do have that. And it's so important to have those connections. And just it's just a beautiful thing, right? When you can find your inner self. And often in these moments, we get quiet and we hear so many beautiful things when we are quiet and connected to our spirit. So before we wrap up, I want to hear from you guys, right? How do you embrace your vitality, your well-being? What hobbies are you, maybe there's something you used to do as a kid and you're like, I came back to it and I absolutely love it. A friend of mine posted the other day on Facebook that she's roller skating. I'm like, that is amazing because she used to love roller skating when she was a kid. Now she's back doing it. And I'm just like, that is amazing. I love this. So I want to know, what are you doing? What strategies have worked for you? Please share your stories, ask your questions, reach out. Like I said at the beginning, your insights are invaluable to this community, to this podcast, to really helping me create content here that actually is serving you guys and bringing you, the answers to the questions that you have. So make sure to reach out on our website, www.treepose.online, or connect with me on the social media. All the links are posted there, so you connect with me on our Facebook group or on Instagram. And let's really continue to support each other on this journey because we are working on becoming whole together, right? Finding those bits and pieces of us and putting ourselves back together is kind of how it feels at this stage. So thank you for joining me on episode 5. Next week is the final week, and we are exploring ways to maintain that positive mindset, that resilience as we navigate through our transitions. So don't forget to subscribe, leave me a rating, a review, comment on the podcast. Your feedback really helps me grow and reach more women who can benefit from these discussions. So until next time, prioritize your vitality and your well-being because guys, you deserve it.